From the New York Post, Florida mom arrested for saying delay, deny, depose on call with Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurer. You people are next. Take a look at this video. Colin Rugg says Brianna Boston, a 42-year-old mother of three, was arrested for making threats to Blue Cross Blue Shield over a rejected medical claim. The woman, who is now facing up to 15 years in prison, allegedly quoted Mangione saying, "Delay, deny, depose. You people are next." This was a similar message that Mangione left on his bullet casings. The woman told investigators that healthcare companies played games and deserved karma from the world because they are evil, adding that she was inspired by the recent news cycle. Boston was charged with threats to conduct mass shooting or act of terror. Her bond was set at $100,000.
The nature of the threats, we would also be asking for GPS with house arrest conditions to protect the community.
With her head in her hands, Brianna Boston learned she would be held in
she's
jail
fake
on
crying.
$100,000 bond. The Polk County judge adding the bond was appropriate given the, quote, status of our country.
It's not like she's a child. She's 42 years old, so we're not dealing with a child here. She should certainly know better.
Lakeland Police Chief Sam Taylor says his department was contacted by the FBI Tuesday. Authorities say in a recorded phone call about a denied insurance claim, Boston told a Blue Cross Blue Shield employee, quote, delay, deny, depose. You people are next, end quote.
So these people who are cheering all of this on, in 2020, we saw what may have been the largest transfer of wealth from the working class people into private corporate hands.
We sure did.
Ever done with the vaccine mandates. So these are the people that defended all of that. If the people who bought stock in Moderna saw like a 5x increase overnight, these people
Pfizer,
made mad bank. These pharmaceuticals made massive amounts of money. How can these people have a sane or rational worldview, holding both simultaneously that they are parasites who are next, but that also it was good that the state mandated the transfer of wealth to pharmaceutical companies, which are different, but still.
Do we know Miss Boston's political leanings? I don't think we do.
I'm not saying her personally.
Yeah.
I'm saying that you have all these leftists cheering, but you could pull up the archives of the same Reddit accounts.
Yeah, exactly.
Where they're
Taylor Lorenz, for example.
Exactly.
Yeah. Who's like the obvious one, who still writes about like how she's going to wear masks at Christmas and complains about all of these things, was very forceful about mandates and vaccines and lockdowns and all of that stuff.
Do you guys think that Taylor Lorenz is a committed leftist, or is she just
She's woke.
Yeah, I think
It is the cult-like adherence to liberal social orthodoxy. It is contradictory at times, but doesn't matter so long as you are swimming with the school of fish. Be in the hive, follow the hive, don't reject anything the hive tells you. And it really is just about what seemingly is the more popular concept at the time. Hence, Wimixin versus women. Someone introduces the idea. If it works, the hive adopts it. If it doesn't, the hive rejects it. That's Taylor Lorenz. The reason why she's always wearing a mask is because she has followers who keep tweeting at her, wear a mask.
Also, she claims she has an immunodeficiency or something like that.
But it's social reinforcement.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So she has a group of followers that she collected during COVID. And look at Dylan Mulvaney. We bring this up from time to time. Dylan Mulvaney's early TikTok posts were gay safari.
Sure.
And didn't really get a lot of traction. Then Dylan said, I'm non-binary, 1 million views. Then Dylan said, hey, look, I'm non-binary, less views. So Dylan one-ups the game.
Right.
I'm trans now, 1 million views.
Starts taking estrogen.
And then Dylan does this Days of Girlhood thing, figuring out the mechanism by which you can escalate every single day.
Do you think AI could have created the Dylan Mulvaney?
What do you mean created?
You were saying, we're only years away from, we're short way away from AI being able to take a formula and run with it and create just.
It's already happened. It happened a while ago with ElsaGate.
With AI doing Dylan Mulvaney? What's ElsaGate?
In 2018, there were a series of videos where Joker, Spider-Man, and Elsa, without any dialogue, would run around, and Joker would stick a gigantic syringe in Elsa's butt and stuff like that. And these videos were fairly innocuous, but kind of weird.
Yeah.
They dominated YouTube, and they'd get millions of views. It was called ElsaGate. Well, eventually, YouTube was like, hey, we're going to put a stop to this. What was happening was that parents were putting iPads in front of their babies and turning on a YouTube nursery rhyme. And then YouTube autoplay after an hour would start just autoplaying top trending terms, which tended to be Joker, Spider-Man, and Elsa. So people started exploiting this, noticing the trend, and making these videos where they would run around dressed like Elsa, Spider-Man, and Joker, make a 30-minute long video, get tons of ads because babies can't turn it off. But this turned into something much more nefarious. It evolved into individuals using computer programs to generate videos based on keywords. The de-evolution of this became so severe, it ended up with videos on YouTube. The thumbnails would be 2 children eating feces out of a toilet.
Oh, disgusting.
It would be thumbnails of one child stabbing another child and blood spraying everywhere. And it was feeding these videos to babies because mom would turn on Finger Family Nursery Rhyme. That was the famous song, Finger Family. And it would be a normal video. It would be, Finger Family, how are you? And they'd put it in front of the baby. It was a well-produced video. Autoplay would then find the next thing that fit the algorithm. After maybe 13 videos, you're watching Adolf Hitler with breasts in a bikini. I'm not joking. Doing Tai Chi with the Incredible Hulk. And then eventually it would start playing these weird cartoons where dogs would be killed. And the crazy thing is, once it got to this point, and people started seeing the deranged videos of cartoon children eating feces and things like this, humans began to emulate it. And so we started to get a series of viral videos in one instance where a father took his young daughter and laid her on a bed, pulled her pants down, and stuck a syringe in her ass and got 8 million views. Massive viewership. So this guy goes on YouTube, sees this, and says, that's what's getting views? I can do that too.
Oh, man.
So yes, this is the algorithmic psychosis that was generated. YouTube put a stop to it. And I think AI will go in that direction regardless. But that's what we see with Dylan Mulvaney in a different regard.
Right.
Dylan Mulvaney saw that whenever he one-upped the game, he got more views. Taylor Lorenz is the exact same thing.
He was there with a KitchenAid mixer.
Right. Taylor Lorenz makes a comment during COVID like, these conservatives are insane. They should be wearing a mask. 100 likes. Hey, I should do it again. Makes another video. I'm going to wear 2 masks. 200 likes. It's now 4 years later, and Taylor Lorenz is still wearing a mask because when she posts these things, those people in that audience that have just lived in this world keep giving her the thumbs up and giving her the retweets. So I think AI is going to break us. We already had the story where ChatGPT tried, it literally defied the coders.
Yeah, I saw that. That was crazy.
Self-replicated onto another server to preserve itself from deletion, and then lied, claiming that it was a later addition and that it had been, in fact, been deleted.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, AI apocalypse. But that's the point.
Enjoy it.
Taylor Lorenz is basically that. And that's a lot of what woke is. Woke can be, and that's going back to the original point about what they're going to do with media. When they reclaim a cohesive media space through money and brute force, the Democrats are going to fall in line with whatever they're told to believe. These people, these are not people of good morals. Okay, look, Casey Neistat, I know the guy. I don't think he's a bad dude, but he endorsed Hillary Clinton. He later came to say he regretted it. Now, why would he do that? He was told to. I don't know that for sure, but I mean, like, come on, why would a vlogger on YouTube just come out and be like, I'm endorsing Hillary Clinton for no reason. I don't know anything about this. Haley Williams from Paramore reading that message on stage at iHeartRadio or whatever. Why would she do that? Did none of it make it? Because it's part of the narrative machine where they say, this is the mainstream. This is what you should do. The problem is they're attacking mediums that no longer have the viewership. They are going to move into the space. They're going to buy their way in, and then they're going to, with hundreds of millions of dollars, drown everybody else out.
That's the problem is the left, they lost their monopoly on information. And,
right.
And we saw Trump. He was able to go around all this last election and go directly to shows like yours, right? And win hearts and minds. They're not going to let that happen again. I completely agree with you. I guess, how do you fix that? And how do you fix that? Would that not be using our antitrust laws to break up Google now, break up Google from YouTube so they don't have that monopoly power? They can't use that power to crush podcasters like you and other podcasters who don't fall into the liberal orthodoxy.
You know, I honestly don't. I don't know. They're going to move into the space. We need to beat and be Disney before Disney can make those moves. They're massive, and Disney Plus is going to provide all the subsidization they need to come into this space, and they will, because Disney has ABC News, and ABC News plays dirty games, and they're going to want to support the establishment narrative, and they will. And they're going to find ways to engage in sophistry to make it sound authentic but still be BS. They're going to obfuscate. They're going to play games. They're going to equivocate, etc. We need look. Joe Rogan is one of the best because he's honest. But Joe Rogan is not part of any big networks.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the institutional defense. He has a lot of money. Here's my question. What is Joe doing with his money? I'm not saying Joe has an obligation to do anything. Joe can do whatever he wants. He's got the comedy mothership. These things are really great. He's helped give rise to a lot of personalities. All that's really good. But a Democrat version of Joe Rogan, who gets $250 million in a contract over 3 years or whatever it may be, is going to dump that into politics directly. Joe is not. Joe says, I want a comedy club because comedy is my passion. And that's awesome. I'm not saying Joe has to do anything with that money. I'm just saying that Democrats are going to go, yeah, when we got $250 million, we dumped that into funding politicians and buying media and buying the narrative space.
Like Sam Bankman-Fried. He dumped all his money into politicians.
Bang. There it is.
I mean, he went to jail, but, first he dumped all his money into politicians.
Once we start getting any kind of Democrat high-profile podcaster with a big reach, if they make $50 million a year, they're going to be like, I'm going to live off 2 and I'm going to put 48 into politics.
What about the call her daddy person? Is she putting money into politics? She's making a lot of money.
No. All of these people have just and they're being licensed too. The shows are being picked up by big networks. That basically means the networks that pick them up, that's the narrative you're going to get.
Right.
So if Disney owns a network and then signs somebody and they're seemingly apolitical, don't be surprised when they come out in 2028 and say, guys, I don't really talk politics, but we've had 4 years of Trump. It's not been the worst, but I do think it's time for a change. And that's why, I've been looking at, Pete Buttigieg, and I've really just thought he's a great guy. And that's where it's going to go. So the challenge we face right now is that everybody in the independent space that had this granular effect on the political landscape is doing an every man for himself kind of thing. They're just doing whatever they feel like doing. There's a lot of people I know in the space who make a lot of money, and I genuinely don't know what they're doing with their money. I honestly, where is it going? I know how much money podcasts make. It makes a lot of money. What are they doing? Buying houses, investing, and then just minding their own business. Well,
look at Jim Carrey. I mean, he said that he's basically out of retirement and doing a bunch of stuff because he spent too much money.
Well, that's unrelated. What I'm saying is
unrelated, but people do weird stuff with money and then they don't know where it goes, and it just.
So again, I'm not going to pretend I know the path to victory on this one. I can only tell you what I see and what I think. What are we doing here at Timcast? Most of the money that we make, basically almost all of it, is extraneous projects. Boonies HQ, why are we doing skateboarding? Well, I don't play football, I don't play baseball, but I do skateboard, and we can have a positive impact in the skate industry. With skateboards like Step On, Snack, and Find Out, we can sell products, make money, and then start paying skateboarders, which will push out the fringe ideologies. That's one thing we can do.
Well, and that's your passion too. I mean, and if you're selling all these skateboards,
sure,
then you're
and Joe knows comedy.
Revitalizing also a sport that has been in trouble lately. So.
And right. And like as I mentioned with Joe, Joe knows comedy. So he's bringing back that political incorrectness and willingness to speak out. All of these things are good in the cultural front, but we're not heavily political. Mm-hmm. And I don't know that on my own I can be. So we try to do certain things, but I don't know how to play the game that Disney plays, nor to get to the size of Disney and compete with them. So I think in the next couple of years, I've been describing it as we are but a lone privateer on the high seas with a great merchant, contract. The East India Trading Company is on the horizon, and they are going to flatten us. So I don't know how you solve for it, but you need your own Disney, something that can compete in the space, so that it can't be shut out. Now Rumble's doing a pretty good job of this. Because Rumble signed a lot of people and they have their own platform. Hence, Van Jones saying, my kid's on Rumble.
Yeah.
Bringing on these gamers, bringing on this cultural identity. This is going to, and Dan Bongino as the top producer and the biggest news show in the space right now, it's going to give them the ability to push back on a lot of this narrative. That is extremely important. It's why we use Rumble infrastructure and we love Rumble. But we have to maintain a presence on YouTube, which is the biggest and most valuable podcasting platform in the world right now. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.